What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the League Report podcast. We're back. We're out on Spotify. We're out on Apple Podcasts. Obviously, if you're watching, we're out on YouTube. Don't forget to download those new episodes on Apple and Spotify. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you're here watching on YouTube, don't forget to sub to the channel. Our next big goal is 500. Try to get to 350 to hold us over for a little bit, but our next big goal is 500. And don't forget to turn on post notifications. So once our new videos are out, you can go and get them, check them out, hit that like button, smash the subscribe button. Leave a comment, negative or positive. We got a couple hate comments over the last couple of weeks. Y'all was hating on what we was talking about, but it's all good. That's all love. And
I know spring break coming up. Y'all not taking any trips. I know y'all ain't doing nothing.
Right, man, y'all
go ahead. Yeah, y'all ain't doing nothing, anything special. Go ahead, sub to us real quick.
Just sub to the channel, man. That's all we need, man. We need to get to 500. We'll get to that before. We'll get to that well before August. I think that's
August, where we going now?
Yeah. August marks a year since we started, so we'll get there for sure. Yeah. Carl mentioned that YouTube is like like a couple weeks you have a really bad stretch, or maybe a couple months, then out of nowhere you just blow the hell up. So hopefully we can have that breakthrough at some point.
I always say it's like an NBA player's inconsistent jumper. Sometimes going in, sometimes missing.
Yeah. Been a lot of misses.
That's a comparison and a half right there.
Yeah, I would say it's like Ben Simmons shot, but it never went in.
We've had a couple of makes. We've had a couple of makes,
and we had some makes. Yeah,
we attempt them too. At least we put videos out.
Oh.
Right. I mean, he's being serious. So.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. Carl, scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with that Lakers win last night against the Warriors, where LeBron scored 56 points? How satisfied are you?
Oh Jesus,
it's like a 6.
Okay,
because you got to keep in mind, like it took LeBron scoring 56 points to only win by like 4.
Yeah,
that's actually concerning. If we've been honest.
Now, here's what I'll say. It was against a good Warriors. I know the Warriors haven't been at their best the last couple, but it was against a quality Warriors team. Anytime they're going to play the Warriors, it's going to be a close game. And that is a good point. I think that was pretty much what everybody was saying post-game as well. Y'all needed LeBron to score that much to win. I think they could have still found a way to win without LeBron scoring 50-something. There were a couple of pretty solid takeaways. The Lakers went small, and there were points in time throughout the season where I kind of wondered why they didn't deploy a lot of small ball, a lot more small ball units. They did the DeAndre Jordan thing for a little bit that I was never really behind. They had games where they started Dwight Howard. Vogel really takes those lineups on like a game-by-game basis. You know what I mean? When you look at him, there are even rumors of him potentially, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there are rumors of him potentially benching Russ. So that's been one of the more like underrated storylines with the Lakers is just, I feel like the lineups have just been kind of weird. And I feel like they've never really found something that consistently works. And obviously that's true because they haven't been consistently healthy. Guys have not been consistently there, for them to find something that works on a game-by-game basis. But I was a fan of the small ball thing and having LeBron at the 5. I got like shades of Houston doing the small ball thing to kind of get Russ more comfortable. I think that spacing kind of gave him a little bit of a benefit last night. He didn't have an amazing game, but it was 20. And that's kind of messed up, but I'm thinking 20 is like a high standard for Russell Westbrook. But he looked solid at points and times and made a couple of big buckets down the stretch. So I was a fan of that part of the game. So I said it on Twitter last night. Every time the Lakers get a win like this, I think it's going to put them back on track.
Don't. That's the mistake you make. They have a good quality win, and they barely even win that game. And people think, they can rip off an 8 to 10 game winning streak, and then they end up losing 3 in a row, and they right back where they were before then.
If they can't go on a big run, so here's their next couple of games. You got the Spurs tomorrow. You got the Rockets. Yeah, you got the Rockets. Then after that, you have the Wizards. Then after that, then next Sunday on my birthday, you get the Suns.
Hey.
Then you get the Raptors, then the Timberwolves, and the Raptors again. So it's a semi-tough schedule. There are a couple of duds in there, but that Suns one is going to be a big one. I think if you guys go 2-0 throughout the week and then come back on Sunday and then end up beating the Suns, that'll be a good gut check for you guys. And if you end up winning the 3 over the next couple of weeks, then I'm going to start looking at y'all a little bit differently. How about that?
Well, we know that ain't happening.
They lose and they go split 2 of them games against the Raptors. Then you say they played them twice?
They play them twice over the next 2 weeks,
We go split one with them, and then we should beat the Spurs, but don't be surprised if we lose. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I can see y'all beating the Spurs, to be honest with you.
Well, we should, but you know how they work.
Yeah.
Timberwolves, they might end up beating us. It's gonna be a good game, but we go fuck it up somehow by doing something stupid at the end of the game. Russ go get the ball, he go lose it, roll it off his foot. We go be down by 3, and we go. LeBron go throw up a shot, he go miss. That's how it works.
I really feel like if y'all go 3-0 this, like if y'all just go 3-0 this week from now to next Sunday, I think y'all gonna be on the right track.
That's a big.
So who do they have? Who do they have next 3 games?
I just said it. I said Spurs, Rockets, and then Spurs, Rockets, Wizards. Okay, next 4: Spurs, Rockets, Lakers, or Spurs, Rockets, Wizards, and then Suns. If they can rattle off 4,
I say Spurs, Rockets, Wizards.
You go win those 3. You should win those first 3. And the Suns,
we gonna lose.
I mean, way they've been playing this season, I can see them beating the Rockets and the Wizards. I can see that, but the Spurs and the Suns, I don't know.
We'll see.
They definitely not beating the Suns, bro. I don't know about Spurs.
You want to be honest? I think they're going 2-2.
I was about to say that same thing.
Yeah. I really think this is going to be the most telling week for the Lakers. I really do. You know, if they can go on this run, if they can go on a little rattle off a 4-game run, that's all they need. And I think they're going to be set for the rest of the season as far as.
I mean, it's not like they have a lot of wiggle room.
They don't.
New Orleans on that. New Orleans on them hard. Yeah. I think New Orleans is like 1 game back.
Yeah.
And 1 game back from 10th. So.
Yeah.
They really, Ty, you saying that it's really because they really don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Like it has to be this week at the latest, because it's only like for them 19 games left. So to be honest, if they want to have a chance of having a good playoff spot, or at least make the play in that, to me, they at least have to win
16,
at least
15.
14, at least 14, at least out of the next 18 games.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think, wins like that. I mean, that was another thing about that game last night was the fourth quarter play. I've always been, Carl, he says it all the time. We know what the shit with the Lakers is within the entire game. They start off really, really bad. Then they come in the second half. They make a nice run, get a lead or whatever, maybe. And in the fourth quarter, they can't close out. Last night, they did a good job of closing it out. Melo hits the dagger shot. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't a big fan of Melo in those late lineups for a lot of reasons, because there were times where I think defensively they needed to make stuff happen. And Frank Vogel would keep him in there traditionally, but last night he did his thing, got a couple of really big buckets. I think he hit the dagger, and then I also remember like an and-one layup off a rebound that he made. So that Malik Monk, did his thing as well, hit some big buckets. So Austin Reeves, your boy, did his thing as well. Also a guy who gets a lot of late fourth quarter minutes. So good execution down the stretch. And I feel like that's been it. I don't know the numbers. I don't know their fourth quarter numbers right now, but they're terrible.
They're terrible. Just think of the games, how many games they lost. That's how I know they're terrible. There's no way they're good.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that was good execution down the stretch. I think it really was. Also considering really Golden State didn't really have consistent offense outside of Steph late in that game. So I think defensively they kind of did a good job of taking everybody else away. So who knows what's going to end up happening, but it could be a big win for them. We'll judge it after the next week.
Yeah. I'm seeing these Warriors play. I know they don't have Draymond, but the way they've been playing has kind of been turning me off lately as far as making me think that they can go to the finals.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's I forgot was it a 4-game losing streak or something like that? I'm not sure. I got to go back and look, but it's not been a good run post All-Star break at all. I think the Draymond Green thing is huge. Missing him. Yeah, we always criticize Draymond Green, but we know how important he is to this team. This is a guy who's consistently every year Defensive Player of the Year candidate. We know what he brings from a playmaking standpoint. He just makes so much happen. We talk about Steve Kerr's system. Yeah. A lot revolves around him. He's like we call him a system player, but he's literally one of the greatest system players we've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? So he makes so many things happen. Not having him is a kind of a weird dynamic for this team.
They missed that 7 points per game, that 8 points per game. They missed it. God, no, I'm just playing. But yeah, they definitely miss him because he's a good floor general and he can stretch the floor even though he can't shoot anymore.
Yeah. Makes so many things happen. I think. And it's a lot of weird stuff. Like I think right now, Clay, Warriors fans are really, really critical of Steve Kerr. And I think last night, Clay kind of got fed up with his minutes restriction. I remember him walking off a little bit before halftime because he had to get out the game. And I remember him walking into the locker room. So it's a really weird point for Golden State. At this point in the season. I mean, I don't think that is a good point that you brought up about how you think about their championship hopes. I think they're still alive. They're not my favorite. I think Phoenix is my favorite. I maybe win it all.
Yeah, it was a point in time though where you can kind of be like splitting hairs with Phoenix and the I was about to say Phoenix and the Suns, Phoenix and Golden State, because they were just both right there. But right before the All-Star break is when Golden State kind of started losing games, and that's when the Suns like got a 6-game lead in the standings. So I don't know. I just feel like they're like that probably because Clay isn't Clay yet.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if he'll ever get back to Clay.
I think he could. I think
he can. If you see what he's doing, like even on the minutes restriction, he's been putting up good numbers.
Yeah.
So I think once he gets off of there, he'll be fine.
It probably take him another. It take when you hurt like that 2 years in a row, at least take you another year or at least half a season or something to get back to your normal flow.
Yeah. I mean, good thing is he doesn't really rely on athleticism. So
that's what I was about to say. I think his thing has been rhythm. I think it's been less about him recovering or whatever. I think the recovery is going great. Like, damn it, his first play or one of his first plays was a dunk on somebody.
Hey,
but I think
but also my bad, cut you off. I think Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole being there kind of has something to do with his rhythm being off because he's never played with him.
That's
especially Andrew Wiggins. So it has something to do with that too.
That's a fact. Trying to get acclimated into like a new, not a new offense because he's used to it, but new pieces in that offense. Andrew Wiggins is a weird guy to kind of move around. You know what I mean? I always kind of question the fit between him, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. He's doing his thing, but it is looking like he's trying to adjust with a lot of these newer guys, and I think he could find it. But if they can end up getting playoff Klay, and getting big games out of him and get that Splash Brothers thing really back and moving. And they've still been solid. I mean, his 3-point efficiency is still maybe below what we're used to, but it's still above league average and it's still exceptional. So not exceptional, but it's still solid. It's good enough. But if they can get him back if they can get playoff Klay back plus Draymond back in the mix, I think everything else is going to work itself out because Kuminga's been playing great. Poole's been great. Their role players are doing what they need to do. I'm still confident in Golden State. They're not my favorite out west, but I think Phoenix is still at the top, but I think Golden State will still be my second favorite out in the Western Conference right now.
Yeah. We just got to keep in mind it's not easy. Okay, say you hurt for a couple years, and then you come back to the team, and a dude's averaging 20, basically that's in your spot.
Yeah.
Or one dude's averaging like 16, 17, other dude's averaging 20, and they're really the two dudes that take your spot. Yeah. It's kind of hard for you to just go in there and just average what you normally did, which is like 22.
Yeah,
you can't. It's impossible, actually. So
that's why I'm glad he was back earlier in the season. You know what I mean? I really am because it's always tough bringing back injured guys or bringing guys to a new team, especially when the playoffs are coming near and trying to figure out what works. Like I think with the Nets, not to really totally drift away from the Warriors here, but with Brooklyn, you look at them, they're not going to get Simmons back to like the last 10 games of the season. If that's even if he plays those last 10, he may play 5 out of those 10. Who knows?
They saying he might. They saying it's a possibility they might hold him out to the playoffs just to see where he's at, and that would piss me off as an owner and all that shit. Because like, bro, I know,
but he still hasn't like played. You got to know he hasn't played.
Man, I don't care. I traded for him to play sooner or later to see what I got. I don't want to just wait till the playoffs and then he plays back and then I don't know. I got to see what I traded for.
I mean, that's what you got. That's what you got YouTube for, Carl.
And Nash got to experiment with how he's going to use Simmons. Is he going to be a small ball 5? Is he going to be playmaking while they put Kyrie off the ball? What are they going to do? So that is why it's tough bringing a guy in there. That's why I'm glad Klay came back earlier because he's kind of, he's still getting back into the swing of things and he's going to have time to get back to his normal self. And we've seen shades of his normal self big time throughout the season. Like he's had a bunch of really big games. One of his better games came against the Lakers, when they played before the All-Star break.
He had 34.
Yep, and it was the best player on the court that night. So, hopefully they can get him back. But I'm not way too worried about Golden State. Not slightly, but not like I think a lot of their issue is just rhythm, and then I think a lot of this changes once Draymond Green is back without a doubt in my mind. Because you look at outside of Klay and Steph right now, your best players are like younger guys. You know what I mean? And that's not what Golden State is really super, super used to, So. Yeah, shout out to the Warriors. They'll get it right. They're I think 3rd in the West right now, right behind Memphis. I think they're still a better team than Memphis. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'd say it's looking like a 3-team race coming out the West.
I agree. Who's your 3rd team?
Memphis.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'd put Utah over Memphis as far as I think I'd put Utah over Memphis.
They don't have. I agree because they don't have playoff experience. They can easily get beat in the first round. Like say if they face Timberwolves, I think the Timberwolves can honestly beat them.
That's not true. They have playoff experience. They have.
Those. I mean, they have the play in that one year. The first year the play in happened? Did they get through?
No, they didn't. But check me out here. Check me out here.
But who didn't they play?
They just got last year playoff experience though. Right. That was the first round.
But playing experience is also big too, because playing the stakes are still really. If you're in a playing game and you've done that a couple of times over the last couple of seasons, I'm going to say you've got a good amount of experience in your season, because the stakes in a playing game are huge. You know what I mean?
That's just one game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'll reword that. Then I say playoff experience against, I don't know, a team. Well, no, I can't say that either. I'll just say star power. Well, no, they face Steph. I don't know.
See what I'm saying? They don't have
that was Ja. That was Ja face Steph.
I just think the Timberwolves, if this would be right now, the Timberwolves would face the Memphis Grizzlies, and I honestly think the Timberwolves can give them a shot. Maybe beat them.
Yeah, it's not even that. That's true. I mean, that'd be a tough. I can see it happening. I think my thing with Memphis is I'm not going to consider them in a 3-man race as far as contenders in the Western Conference, because I just don't think they have the star power relative to like a Warriors team or a Suns team. I don't think they have as much to prove as a Utah team does. Utah's been a team that we know has been just playoffs and nothing else for the last couple of years, and they made some solid additions in the roster. So I think that'll help them. That can help them in the playoffs. So I think I put Memphis over. I put Utah over Memphis. I don't know. Would I put Dallas? In that conversation?
Dallas can definitely beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think. Because it's just.
I mean, I'm talking about like, finals.
Yeah, final contention. Yeah.
Finals. I don't know if Dallas is right there.
Yeah.
At least not this year.
They can't do nothing with Luka to make him that tired. The thing with Luka, you make him tired against bigger bodies. I know Desmond Bane's built like a linebacker, like Blake say.
Yeah. And he built like a defensive end.
But I really don't think they have anybody that can guard Luka, and I think they can get past Memphis.
The question was: Is Dallas in the are they?
Over Memphis. I don't know. That's
are they in the title contention conversation at all in the West, or finals contention conversation at all?
I'd say it's the 3 teams. Those are my 2 teams. Golden State, Phoenix, and Memphis. Those are my 3.
I go Utah. Golden State, and then Phoenix, and then my last out would probably be. Here you go. Let me see here. My last out would be. I feel like I don't want to totally sleep on the Nuggets for some strange reason. I'm not. You know what? Also, let me just.
I think I would
take Utah
MPJ and Jamal Murray maybe coming back.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But then again, with that, we can get to that. Remember the thing I mentioned about the injuries and getting guys back and acclimated. That could be tough. But if they can get Jamal, that's a tough ask. But if they can get Jamal Murray back to like 18 a game whenever he comes back, and if you just plug him in the playoffs, that's going to be a weird dynamic, and I don't trust it. But if at least MPJ comes back, I think they could be tough. Some tells me also, I'm sorry, y'all going. I don't know how y'all gonna feel about it.
Here we go.
I'm not taking the Lakers. I'm not taking the Lakers completely out of the conversation. I just can't.
I am.
Yeah.
I just can't do
it. I'm back on it. Yeah. But I can't put Utah in there. I've seen Utah. It's the same thing every year. To change my mind, they're gonna have to do it. Just like with the Bucks, just like did for me, they changed my mind on them. They're gonna have to actually prove it to me that they can do that before I actually start putting them in like true like final contention.
I think they made the moves they needed to make. That's my thing. I think, right now, if you ask them to go small in the defensive end, they'll do it. Now, question is, will they do it? Question is, will Quinn Snyder take Rudy Gobert out when he needs to get taken out of the game? That's the only question. Because I remember watching the game against against Houston the other night. I know people criticizing Gobert for missing that defensive assignment against Christian Wood, but I don't know how willing Quinn Snyder is to take the defensive player of the year, or one of the best defenders in the NBA, out of the game when he needs to do it. I think that's one of the bigger things you got to look at, is he be hella reluctant to do that. So we'll see what happens, but I'm slightly more confident in Utah just because I think they've kind of got that Milwaukee Bucks complex where we knew they were a great regular season team and we didn't believe them past that. I think they've got that kind of type of pressure on their shoulders. And like I said, I'm a fan of the small ball additions that they made to the team with guys like Rudy Gay, who I feel like I haven't seen play in a minute, and then Eric Pascal. So we'll see what happens with them. But I'm a little more confident in Utah. All in all, it is like a 3-man. The 2 teams I can straight up put my money on as far as like actually like championship contention, because now we're not just talking finals contention, but there are 2 teams who I think can actually win it all, and that's Phoenix and Golden State. You know what I mean? The East right now has a bunch of teams that can go out there and win it. Philly can go out there and win a title. Milwaukee can go out there and repeat. The Heat, I think the Heat, if they wanted to go out there and win a title, and obviously Brooklyn go out there and win a title. You know what I mean?
Hey, real quick about the Heat, Victor Oladipo is coming back tomorrow.
Word? I did not know that.
Tomorrow? Okay.
He's coming back tomorrow. Because I saw that. No idea. I saw that during the last week. He was going to come Mondays. Like I saw it Wednesday or whatever. Yeah. He was going to come back Monday. I forgot all about Victor Oladipo.
It's going to be interesting seeing how I didn't know that. It's going to be interesting seeing how he gets put in that lineup because I don't know what they're going to end up doing. So yeah, they're saying he's going to come back. Wow, it's going to be how many seasons has it been since we saw him play? Like last season or earlier, or longer than that?
Last season. Last season that he hurt his knee.
Yeah.
He might have tore his ACL for all I know. I don't even remember.
He's had a really weird career because he's been an all-star before, but he never got to establish himself as that guy yet. You know what I mean?
He came up through the Magic. He had some good seasons there. Then he went with Russ, and Russ kind of helped him, take his game to the next level.
Yep.
And then he went to the Pacers, and then you kind of saw, the talent that he had. Especially, I know what I'm talking about with that move. He be dribbling the ball up. What he be doing? And
that little stutter. Yeah.
That was a nice move. But then ever since then, it feels like he's kind of been hindered by like injuries, little injuries here and there. So. How
heavy do you think he'll be used as a shot creator? Do you think he'll just do you think they'll like look to really get him a bunch of touches and looks, or do you think he'll kind of just be hitting a little bit?
Well, I don't know. Due to like the emergence of like Tyler Hero, I don't know if he'll get the chances to average it like 16 points per game or something. I think he'll probably have the chance to average 12.
Yeah,
I don't know. Especially off the bat. Now, if he was there the whole season, and you can kind of see where you want to go towards like direction of giving Victor Oladipo the ball more or Tyler Hero, then I can see. But he's probably not going to like get the ball that much based off where their offense already is.
I don't even know if he starts coming out the gate because
no, he's not starting.
Yeah,
they're probably just going to ease him in a little bit just to.
Yeah.
What did he hurt? His hip.
Was it his hip? I think so.
I think it was his hip because he was coming back from the knee, but then right when he came back from the knee, I think last season he ended up hurting his hip.
Yeah.
I think.
We'll see what happens. I had no idea he was coming back because I remember people always swiping up like, when is Victor coming back? I stopped caring for a minute because I don't know how I felt about Victor Oladipo for the longest. I never really understood how I felt about him.
I like him.
Yeah,
gives you a very confusing way to think about him. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, he's a 2-time All-Star. Okay, let me quit tripping.
Wait, did he make it with the Pacers twice?
He must have made it with the Pacers twice. Because there's no way he made it.
Ain't no way
he made it. I think he made it with the Pacers twice. That was 17, 18, and 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And he did lead him to the playoffs. Okay, he's a good player. He
is, but I'm just saying, just like now, like I guarantee Heat fans were thinking, oh, when's Victor coming back? They probably forgot about him.
Oh shit, he's actually coming back. Like I had no idea at all.
Yeah.
Shout out to him though, man. Shout out to Victor. Hopefully they can find a way to get him going.
Victor.
Hey, that boy can sing too. I know y'all heard his music.
Oh yeah, that R&B Victor.
I've never heard his music, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I know, I'm just playing.
I know Ty the R&B connoisseur. So.
Yeah, he ain't got that it factor. He ain't got that it factor.
Ty, if you want a person to recognize talent as far as R&B genre, ask Ty. He know.
Come on, man.
He know all about that singing. Them singing boys. You know about it.
I know Carl can't stand that singing.
Man, they be crying over the mic. I don't want to hear that.
Carl,
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. You said I be calling them soft.
Them soft brothers singing. Begging.
Go ahead.
So I want to do this. There are a lot of we try to be positive last episode. That didn't work. So let's just stick. Let's stick to what we're good at and let's criticize.
Well, because where there's a positive, there's always negative.
That's very true.
I think we kind of go out of our ways to find a negative though.
It's funny.
Yeah, we do. I know I do.
Let me ask y'all this real quick before we even get to this topic. What would you guys grade this season so far?
As a whole?
Yeah, like if you just had to give this season a grade.
It ain't an A. It's not an A.
Like a B or something like that? Like a B minus like that?
I put a B because there are a lot of things here. So one, guys, there have been guys we've wanted. It always sucks to see guys not healthy, right? So we're seeing a bunch of dudes who are not there. Anthony Davis, obviously, the entire, but then again, there was a lot of really entertaining stuff that happens. There was the Harden trade, which is one of the bigger trades since the last Harden trade. Then
the last one, that's the last big one since he
right. You got the two biggest trades in the last 5 years, and within a year.
That's so bad, bro.
That's so bad.
In less than a year.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Bad.
That's crazy.
Well, when he got traded to Brooklyn in 2021?
Yep.
2020.
Was it 2020?
It was 2020. So it's a year. He's been there a year and a half. That's
basically really late 2022.
Year and a quarter. Year and 2 years.
Stupid.
That's insane to think about. He doing his thing. But there's been entertainment. I think the All-Star game was really good, just considering everything. I'd put it around a B. As I said, it's always disappointing seeing guys not in the lineups and all of that. But overall, I think how we haven't really, also we haven't gotten a lot of like crazy signature games. You know what I'm saying? Like we've had some good ones, but we haven't. Like I remember 2016, there were just some insane, iconic games that happened that year. You talk about, obviously the circumstances were different, but you talk about Steph's game against OKC. Then you talk about Kobe's last game, and you talk about Golden State beating that, hitting the 73 mark. So,
man, it was just a 6-year anniversary of Steph hitting that shot against OKC. I think last week, bro. Word? I think last week. So I think it happened in February or something. So late February, like February 28th, I can't remember. But dude, the way he pulled up, I don't know if you remember where he pulled off. It was almost half court.
I did not watch the game. And I'm still to this day, I'm mad at myself for that.
That's one of the biggest games in NBA history. Because they was on that 73-9 type season, whatever. Yeah. KD and them was doing their thing. They actually had a 10-point lead with 3 minutes left. Mm-hmm. Steph hit about 2 threes in a row. Boom. They only, back then with them Warriors, you have a big lead. You 15-point lead with 4 minutes ain't shit for them.
That was when they was in third quarter demons. Them killed them third quarter.
They was.
Did you catch that game live, Blake? I maybe the only one that didn't catch it live.
I don't remember it. I remember watching like the highlights, but I don't think I saw it live.
Yeah, that's when that Saturday primetime stuff started. That was the first game I think ever for Saturday night.
Yeah, that is when they started that primetime stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Decent season, but as I mentioned, there are a lot of really weak, whack ass storylines throughout the year. A lot. I'm gonna go off. We're gonna name the most obvious one here. I know we talk about him every episode. We talked about him already, but the Lakers storyline is the most tragic. Probably the most tragic team story. I mean, they have time to clean it up.
They suck. That's ain't nothing. We gonna keep saying they just suck. They're terrible.
We gonna keep saying they have time before you know it, the season's gonna be over.
Right.
But at this point, I really don't want to see them make the playoffs. Just because I really don't want to.
Well, you didn't want to see them make it.
Yeah, anyway.
So that's not.
Well, yeah, but still, I don't. Still,
it'd be a hell of a comeback though if they can do it. It'd be a hell of a comeback.
They're like
too bad they won't.
They're 6 games below 500 right now, right? Because they were 7, I guess, right? And they won.
What's 35 minus 28? Yeah, that's what 7 games.
6. Okay. Yeah, it was 7, but then they won last night, so that make it 6. Yeah. So I don't know. I have to see them win next week. I have to see them go undefeated type shit.
Yeah.
To like think
which they won't.
I don't know if they will to even think they're serious because we've seen it before. They have a good game, good like quality win, and then they come back and lose like 3 out of the next 5.
Mm-hmm.
Or 4 out of the next 5. Oh shit, maybe even 5 in a row.
It's just crazy how much we expected and how bad it's been. You know what I'm saying? Even down to the Anthony Davis injury. That's probably the worst one. Because I really just think my biggest issue with this team is they never Vogel. We always know how hard it is to make a super team work. This is a super team on paper, without a doubt. Even Russ is still coming off of the Wizards. Russ was still a superstar. I don't care what anybody says. So
now,
right. But it was a super team, and you really hate. And when you have a super team, you have to figure out ways. The worst thing to happen with a super team is to have unhealthy guys. Because if that ends up happening, your coach can't figure out what works. So we criticize Vogel a lot, but he was tasked with a very, very tough task, and that's trying to figure out what was going to make those 3 guys work on the court together. This was supposed to be the season where Anthony Davis started at center, for the first time in his career for like an 82-game stretch, or however much they thought he was going to play at the beginning of the year, and that just never happened. Because he was hurt, you know what I'm saying? So there have been guys like THT, even his decline, we kind of saw it coming, but even him,
I thought he was gonna be pretty good.
Not like this though. His on-court awareness has been terrible.
Yeah,
like he'd throw the ball at the damn backboard. Dude not looking, he'd throw it behind his head. I'm like, dude, and then when he shoots, he overshoots half the time he shoots the damn ball. I'm like.
Misses a lot of defensive assignments too.
He pisses me off the most on the team.
Yeah, he does. There'd be times where I'd be looking like, why is he even in this late lineup? Like he puts him in the late lineup too. But even so, like with him, it's crazy how highly we thought of him last season compared to now.
And now he sucks.
I ain't gonna say it sucks, but also like I said, I just think we did agree with this. I did think this season was like we did have a whole pod. We talked about how this is gonna affect him. And then, it's just it's not been the best for him. I think he needs to go get traded to like a rebuilding team or whatever. Like wherever that's
Washington.
We not gonna really get anything back now because his value didn't drop.
Yeah.
Now we would have made that trade last year. We would have got something nice.
His value's not. Here's the thing: his contract's not super high, so you can go move him for a younger team would take him. I think for draft capital, or for draft capital. I think right now, or whatever. Maybe some other smaller role players. But his contract, it'd be different if he was making like 15 mil. Then you're talking about a dude that's going to be tough to trade. Right now, he's making.
I'm just basing off. Didn't we give him a contract extension?
You did, but it wasn't. It wasn't like it's not like
it wasn't. It was some. It was a little hush money.
Yeah, a little hush money. Some you can move him. Yeah. Some you can get something back for him when you decide to move him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Kuzma. Kuzma got more than him, obviously, but Kuzma, we knew they were kind of prepping him to get his ass traded. So that made
he's actually playing just like Kuzma, like the same knucklehead mistakes on the court.
Little worse too, because at least Kuzma would do some. Kuzma had some good games. I don't remember a great THT game this season.
It all comes full circle.
Uh-oh. I know what he mean by that too.
Let me see. So
it all comes, and I love it.
You know what else came full circle? That's another whack ass storyline is the Hawks. That's what other came full circle.
Yeah, they've been mid this whole season.
Yeah, I can't give him it. What's the excuse? I can't say DeAndre Hunter because he was unhealthy for a little bit. I can't say that because remember he was unhealthy.
The only thing I can think of is just like. I guess injuries, and then just luck.
Guess what?
I'm talking about for others. I'm talking about last year playoff.
Oh no, I know what it is. It was a fluke last year. That's what it was.
Oh my god,
it was a fluke.
But I'm not gonna lie. They should. Even if let's say it was a fluke, they still should be 10 times better than this.
Oh yeah, they should.
No, they should. But I'm just saying that's how sometimes you could define a fluke. Just followed up the next season. They have the same exact players and they're struggling. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and it's been still struggling on the defensive end, which is crazy to me because
but Trey's still balling. They ain't on him.
Still hooping. Yeah, Trey is
still hooping. So everybody else, they need to look at each other because they ain't him.
Yeah,
what are you doing? What are you doing?
Right. Yeah, it was disappointing seeing the Hawks kind of fall off, and then I didn't know what their thing is though. Also, I didn't know how they're going to follow it up because I didn't think they were going to make another conference finals run. Because of how everything else right now is looking out the Eastern Conference, and we didn't even know Philly was going to end up having Harden, so all that. But I think I expected them to follow it up. I think my follow up for them, what I envisioned was us knowing that this is going to be a playoff team for the next couple of years, and this is going to be a top 5, top 6 Eastern Conference squad over the next couple of years. You know what I mean? It could still happen, but I expected that to just be the norm after making that run last season. And now we're looking at them and they're, trying to squeak in and secure a spot at the bottom of the Eastern Conference in the play-in and all of that stuff. So disappointing for them. Trey's still doing his thing. I was also kind of disappointed in the Cam Reddish thing. Like I feel I was waiting for him to make that major leap and he never really did. So we'll see what happens. But
he's one of them players. I don't think. Okay, I can put half of them on him because he still is he's the NBA player, so he has to take some of the blame. But I also think the coaches don't actually help him out and putting him in the right position to get where he needs to be as a player.
Yeah. It's been that way really since college too, because I always feel like he was a shell of himself throughout his basketball career post high school. I think, everybody in high school used to say. I remember Anthony Edwards used to tape Anthony Edwards. He said, look, they were all talking to each other. It was it was Anthony Edwards and the other dudes. The other dudes. I know who you're talking about. I remember I don't remember all the names, but I know who you're talking about.
It was Trendon Wofford.
I knew he would know.
Anthony Edwards. Boogie Ellis.
Blake know all them dudes.
You know all them niggas, damn.
He loved college basketball and high school. That's all he watched.
I think that was it because I think they was at one of them camps talking about the
He said they asked Anthony Edwards how much he gave you. He said, man, shit, he gave me 46.
Yeah, he was like the boogeyman in high school.
And then he said he gave you 46. He said, man, dog, he gave me 50.
Yeah, he was like the boogeyman in high school. So and he gets to Duke and he's just kind of in the corner all the time. Then he gets to
that's kind of expected when you got RJ and Zion up there. So.
Fair, true.
He needs to get to that one team. I'm sorry, this kind of sounds stupid. He needs to get to one team where they just suck, so he can just get. So no, I'm just saying, so he can kind of get that little solo act, so he can get kind of just show his talent what it is, and then so a team can build around him. I don't know if that's probably not going to happen.
No, it can happen this season. Knicks.
It could,
but the Knicks not going to do it. I don't think unless they fire Tom Thibodeau or something. I don't see that.
Fire his ass.
Fire. You think they go fire?
They won't fire Tom.
They won't. Not yet. Not yet.
If they go and rebuild a position, I think they will. Get Julius Randle the hell up out of here.
Yeah, if they rebuild, I think they'll build around him and RJ Barrett.
Yep.
But Tom Thibodeau's not going to let that happen because clearly Tom Thibodeau has something against Cam Reddish. I think that's obvious.
I said it last episode. Tom Thibodeau is probably one of the worst coaches to ever put on a rebuilding team. He is gonna
too hard. That's why when they hired him, the fans. This one thing I agree with the Knicks fans. I don't really care for him. Yeah. I agree with this. When he got hired, they didn't like it.
Yeah,
and I understood why because he's hard on young players and he just kind of gets on people's nerves. I'm being honest. That's like been his MO.
His ass is out, in my opinion. As long as this Knicks thing is over, this little playoff thing that they go with his ass.
Oh yeah, I would personally fire him, but I just don't think because the Knicks,
how they go.
The people in charge are kind of stupid over there. So
hard-headed motherfuckers. What else? So I mean, even them, like they're another really trash storyline because of how great they were last year. And like I said, it was so funny to me. It's so funny seeing teams make the additions they need to make and they still suck. Like I remember us saying all they need is some more offense. They go out and get Kemba. Kemba was like, okay, but they go out and get Kemba. They go out and get Evan Fournier. Those are two dudes who can take pressure off of Julius Randle scoring wise, and they still suck on both ends. They got worse defensively.
Evan only performed against the Celtics. Feel like
right. Evan be having some games where I be like this dude, but then again,
he does be having games, but then he'll let you down and then kind of fall back down to earth. So you can't figure out what type of player he is, honestly.
It sucks so much because I was really excited for New York to actually be good for the next couple of years. You know what I mean? Because I'm not
too bad they won't.
Because I'm not a Knicks fan, but like it's cool seeing
I'm starting to think you are.
No, but it wasn't dope seeing Trey like them talking shit to Trey in the garden and all that. Like that was good to see. That was good basketball outside of the spitting on.
I like Trey. I like Trey when Trey was doing it, but I ain't
gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, they had that sucker and then they put like some hair on the sucker and they said it was Trae Young.
That shit was funny. That was funny. I like New York around the playoffs, man. I really do. And I came into watching the NBA when they had good teams. Like I came in like right when Melo got there. And I remember like really always wanted to watch that 2013 team where they had Kidd and Melo and I think Raymond Felton.
Raymond Felton. That's a UNC.
That's Carl favorite player.
UNC boy, you better watch yourself because when you put that whooping on Duke, I ain't gonna talk about it. Talk about that later.
Talking about Coach. Coach.
Yeah, that dude was crying. I don't want to see that shit.
He said, "Shut up! No, I don't want to do this. No."
He said, "No, this is unacceptable. No,
no, stop. Be quiet."
And why everybody? Why was everybody quiet too after this?
He was like, oh shit! They was in there crying like y'all. Shit. The season's not over with, also either.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was kind of like bullshit to me because they was crying
it ain't like they winning anything. So
I'm like, you all gonna be a second seed probably in the NCAA tournament or something. Like, what are you crying about?
Duke is not done at all. Like they act like it was the last game of the season. Like
they're not getting past.
It's not like they're winning anything.
Yeah, they're not getting past the Sweet 16, and if they do, they're not. I don't think
they got a squad though, Carl.
Man, let me tell you, they ain't doing nothing. When the last time they won a championship?
2015.
I'm about to say 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
They don't got it in them no more. They done.
You act like, but y'all be acting like you need to. A coach, I say this all the time. College coaches, their success is based off how well they do in the conference. It's impossible for you to win an NCAA. North Carolina was a rarity. They went back to Villanova. They were such a rarity. You rarely ever see teams win 2 in a row like you do with the NBA because they're just
no. I know that. I'm just saying like if that team is your enemy, you ain't about to say, oh yeah, they gonna win. Hell, I ain't saying that.
Oh, because you don't fuck with Duke.
Yeah, I'm never even if they are gonna win. I'm never saying they gonna win.
Nobody like
Duke. From the objective standpoint, you still don't think they can win anything.
Nope.
So you just wow. Now they got too much.
You all got a better chance to me to winning than they do.
No, we are not.
I agree with that. I
don't. They from top to bottom. From top to bottom.
I'm telling you, even if they make it past Sweet 16, they're not winning. At the best, I can see them making Elite 8 at best.
I don't know what you're basing this off of.
I'm basing off of the games I watched.
They have 2 top 5 picks.
They do, but they don't necessarily mean they go like just win.
But what makes you think they're like such a bad team to where they're not going to get past the Sweet 16?
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're. I mean, even if they don't, it's still like making a prediction. They got one of the most talented teams in the country. This is one of the.
It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter about your talent. Sometimes shockers happen in the NCAA tournament. That's what it's about.
But your prediction.
It doesn't mean they're gonna win. So come on.
I want to know. I want to know what y'all basing it off of. That's my only thing.
I'm just basing off the natural things that happen.
You know what Carl is basing.
Because I don't even know how the prediction is being made.
I'm just saying certain teams, think they go win, end up getting shocked and beat in the NCAA tournament. That's what makes it the tournament, though.
Yeah, we can say it about anybody in the country at all.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I don't think they're gonna win.
You know why Carl is saying that.
I don't like Duke.
Me and you both
know that already.
Yeah, I don't think I have a college team that I hate straight up. Let me think here.
I thought you didn't like Duke, Tom.
I've never had an issue with Duke. I mean, if they have, I only have an issue if the Duke hate is kind of stupid. I never got it. I'm not saying Carl, but for a lot of motherfuckers, because Carl's a North Carolina.
It only makes sense if you're in North Carolina because Duke people don't like North Carolina.
Yeah, if you just straight hating Duke for no reason, it's kind of weird.
Because Carl's a North Carolina fan, I get that, but like everything else. A lot of it was because of the Christian Laettner thing, which was fucking 100 years ago. And most of these motherfuckers were not alive to see Christian Laettner play, right?
Almost all of them, to be honest with you.
Outside that little 30 for 30 documentary, and people would see these 30 for 30s and act like they lived through that time. Yeah, people watch those 30 for 30s and act like they lived. Like, I remember when Christian, you was not alive.
I remember when he did this. I don't like him. Shut up.
Then if they have that Grayson Allen type of dude, because if you watch him during Grayson Allen, you're gonna hate him because Grayson Allen was on some straight up boo. I was talking to you last night about
that Grayson Allen. It's not good, but it's kind of hilarious to watch.
I kind of hate them in a way. They didn't caught us for students taking fake classes. North Carolina, they caught us for that, but not Duke. Like let's be serious. Yeah. Let's be serious. We know Duke did the same thing.
Yeah. The underwater basket.
They catch who they want to catch. That's the only thing I hate about the NCAA.
Yeah, NCAA is very, very crooked. Very, very crooked.
Oh, yeah, they pay people on the table like a motherfucker.
Yeah. So. I don't think. Let's see. I don't like.
You don't hate. You don't dislike anybody. Me and Blake. I think me and Blake only hate Gonzaga. Like this. Like, I hate Duke. I don't hate. Okay, yeah. Virginia.
I don't like Virginia.
Yeah.
Because it always felt like
I don't like Virginia either. Virginia sucks because the people put them on the pedestal and they suck.
They've been Now I'm not gonna lie.
They've been sucking for the past like 3 years, so I don't like them.
Virginia. I'm trying to think of who else.
I don't care for Syracuse.
I don't either.
I don't like
Syracuse either.
Always play that same damn defense. If you got somebody
that zone defense, that's a weak defense right there.
If you got somebody that's athletic that can dribble, they'll beat that shit in any.
That's soft. If you play in zone, you soft.
I don't agree at all. I don't agree at all with that, Blake. But anyway, you notice he recruits for motherfuckers to play that. He recruits the same lanky people so they can play that zone. So if they're with their hands up and their arms out,
he recruit your favorite dudes, them Sudan dudes, bro.
Who's that?
He got like 4 of his sons in the starting.
He let his son. He be letting his sons play. Then he recruit like big Africans or something.
Yeah. All of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me stop.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's being serious. That's what he does.
It's true.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Syracuse may be one team that it's all who I just can't stand watching. I can't stand watching Syracuse.
If you notice with Syracuse though, they always just barely be getting in the tournament because people like the team. Like they be squeaking in there.
The last time I remember them making it was. I could be wrong. It could be a time after that. But last time I remember them making it was maybe my freshman or sophomore year in high school. Maybe. I could be wrong. And
they made the tournament
last year, did they? I don't remember. I don't remember much from them.
Yeah, they made remember because I remember they faced the athletic team. Like I don't know if it was not Texas. They faced somebody in the tournament that has athletic guards or whatever that can beat the zone pretty easy because if you got a team that can shoot and that's athletic, they're going to beat the zone.
Let me see. Let me look up Syracuse tournament appearances because I just totally.
They've been there in the last 2 years with 1 to 2. So either last year or the year before, they definitely made it. I know for sure.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So 2019. Let me see here. 2019, they got there, got lost in the first round. 2018, Sweet 16. 2016, Final Four. So they okay. When you look over the last like 10 years, they haven't been that bad. So maybe
the best team.
Ain't been that good either.
Best team. People know, college basketball when you name this dude name. The best team they had was with CJ Fair.
CJ Fair.
Yeah. CJ Fair, he was cold. CJ Fair was
cold. He had Mark Carter Williams once. He had some solid guys over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So back to the storyline thing of the NBA. So the Knicks were the last team I mentioned. weak storyline, bad stuff. I think the Nets, I mean, they're going to be fine, most likely, but the Nets storyline is rough because we never got to see the Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant thing just work. Like, we're talking about potentially the greatest big three of all time. You know what I'm saying? Three dudes who are literally the three best scorers in the NBA, maybe like outside of Steph Curry or whatever. Three best scorers in the NBA on the same team. And the glimpses we saw of them, there were never issues about their fit. They were willing to play alongside with each other. And just to see that kind of tumble over, I mean, granted, Philadelphia is in a better position now that they have Harden, and Brooklyn's still going to be just fine because we even knew before they had Harden, they were going to be a good team just with Kyrie and KD. But just seeing that big three never pan out and never end up working, that's rough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, at least 2 out of the 3 dudes are always hurt. Like KD, I feel like has nagging injuries in the regular season. Harden's injured, but most of the time, for the most part, he's going to be there. When you need the most. Right. Kyrie's always injured, so you got to deal with that too. So I don't know. Yeah, it was tough seeing them. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, my bad. I think you were saying like we probably were never going to really see him at full strength anyway. You know what I mean? Even
without the vaccine stuff, I don't want to like guarantee injuries, but I just have a hard time feeling like none of them would not be hurt.
That's true. Yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact, man. So yeah, that Brooklyn thing is, I mean, like I said, it's weird because I'm not saying they're like they gave everything up because they're still a title contender team. And so is Philly now. Like, it added one more, this trade did add one more title contender to the conversation because nobody was talking about Philly as a title contender before the trade happened. So all in all, I mean, you could call it a win-win maybe, I guess, but it's just, like I said, it was just rough seeing that type of thing just not really come to fruition, not work together, because those guys really did, when we saw them on the court for those limited amount of games, they looked amazing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it is what it is. And so hopefully both teams are able to, hopefully Philly's able to, or Brooklyn's able to make something happen. Hopefully guys are able to stay healthy. As I mentioned, I'm excited to see what Ben Simmons is going to do here. I'm excited to see what his role is going to be. So we'll see what happens. But the Nets storyline was a really, really rough one. But as I said, both teams are going to be just fine, when it comes down to it. So, yeah. Any other really bad storylines y'all can think? Oh, I say also the Trailblazers. That's one I want to throw in there.
Okay.
What'd you have, Carl?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I pray for Steve Nash because he's dealing with some boy. I don't think people recognizing what he had to deal with over the last 2 years. I don't think as a first-time head coach too. That's rough. That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Y'all think we've ever had a coach have it so rough? Pause. Like at the beginning of the career like this. Like, have you ever seen something like that?
Steven Silas.
Yeah, this is okay.
But that
they when the Rockets last year, they was getting on him bad.
But this is 2 years in a row though.
Yeah. Okay, Silas is a good argument because he came in thinking he had a team that was going to be good, and they hard and just dipped on him.
He was getting apologetic calls because he was losing 18 games in a row. They were saying, "I'm sorry for you."
That was rough. But with Nash was given so many cards, and he just had to just figure stuff out. That's why I think he's a good coach.
Yeah, and he keeps having to answer. He had to answer a lot of questions to the media.
Yeah.
And he basically had to lie. Let's be honest. He had to lie about a lot of them because you can't just flat out tell the truth on some of the questions they were asking.
I think he did a great job with, and I don't give any like non-players credit a lot of times, but I think he did a great job he did a really good job of handling the media. He did a good job of not being, because it's really easy for coaches to come off as passive-aggressive towards players. We saw Doc Rivers do it. We've seen Frank Vogel do it. Nash never, ever came off as, like, pointing the finger, ever. You know what I mean? He never.
Tatum got 45.
He got 45? How much time is left?
5 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
But yeah,
Celtics up by 4.
Yeah, but as I was saying, never really saw him pointing fingers at anybody, being passive-aggressive, and I think that speaks to his coaching, so yeah, he dealt with a lot of really difficult things over the course of his 2-year career. There are a lot of people who think he's not a good coach. I think he's a great coach, just given how he's handled everything. At the end of the day, Brooklyn is still a title contender. He's very experienced. He's a very experimental coach, which I love coaches who experiment and use a lot of different things. That's why I'm excited to see how Ben Simmons is going to be used. So shout out to Nash out of it all.
I actually think he's a similar coach. I think him and Jason Kidd have similarities as far as how they run the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were kind of the same player in the way, except Steve Nash obviously was a better shooter.
I say this kid had a lot of issues early, like when in his coaching career that Nash really did.
I'm saying now. I'm comparing him now. Because back then Nash, he had. I mean, not Nash. Back then, kid had some stuff to learn.
Yeah, so. Very true. Kid's also in the coach of the year conversation too, without a doubt in my mind right now.
Jason
Shout out to him.
Jason.
But the Blazers thing was another tough one because we kind of expected it, but as I said, they were in a position where they knew they needed to try to prove themselves to Damian Lillard, and they failed at that exponentially. Lost everything. Moved McCollum out. I can't name you half the Blazers Rockets roster right now. Outside of Anthony Simons is a really bright spot. He's been great. He got like 38 last night, but outside of him, there's a guy named Ellaby. There's a guy. I guess I don't know some of these cats.
I only know. Be honest. I only know like two dudes.
Yeah, Keon Johnson's there. They picked him up. It's rough to see where they started, and they didn't start no high point at all. Because remember, even at the beginning of the season, Dame just couldn't get anything going for himself. Remember that? And then McCollum gets hurt. So it was a total failed season for them where they had to try to prove themselves to him, and then they just fumbled the bag big time. And then now they're in this position to where we can't name. You go from two all-star players and one of the best backcourts in the NBA to not being able to name half the dudes on the roster. I remember Reggie Miller was clowning somebody for making a three, the other night and said
who is that?
Yeah.
He said he's only 3,000 away from breaking Steph Curry.
Oh yeah, they put that graphic up.
Yeah. I said, let this man live. But yeah, rough stuff for them. I don't know what the end game is going to be. I think are they going to trade Dame? I don't know what the situation is going to be in the offseason.
I hope they do, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They have to at this point.
I hope they do.
Just go straight full on rebuild, and see what happens out of that. But
I think you have to, based off you're getting rid of his second best player, and you really didn't get anything that crazy back to make him stay.
Yeah.
So that tells me that you have probably haven't agreed with him that we don't know about, saying you're probably going to trade him.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Tis a fact. I got one more really rough storyline for the season. I just had in my mind. I just lost it. I said the Blazers. I also say to my Wizards. And it's weird because, there was a start to the season. You guys know how I never knew how I felt about it at the beginning, but there was a start to the season where they were pretty good, pretty solid. And then now it is what it is now. I don't even care. I don't even care about watching their highlights anymore. That's how bad it is.
Back to the Generals now. Yeah. I thought they had the chance to make the playoff.
But guess what, though? Bright side, Beal wants to come back. They say he's going to end up signing that max extension.
That's stupid.
Yeah, he trusts him. Yeah. He trusts him to make something happen. So we'll see.
I don't know if he trusts.
No, he trusts that money.
It's hard to walk away from $50 million.
Yeah, it is.
Let's be honest. I think that's what it is. I don't even know if he honestly trusts him. I think at this point in time, he thinking, well, if we make the playoffs, we make it. But I'm thinking about getting this, wealth. Got to get that wealth.
I wonder what the end game is going to be for Washington. I wonder what it's going to end up turning into at this point.
A whole lot of nothing.
That's all. Because not even they have these crazy assets to go because they lost Dinwiddie and got Porzingis back.
Man, they gonna relocate.
Yeah, I don't know what is good because, like I said, they don't have a bunch of big contract dudes. You lost Trez, you lost Spencer, you lost Bertans, so you trade away a bunch of contracts, and then now your second best player out of it all is Kristaps Porzingis, who I don't even trust at all. So I don't know what's gonna end up happening with them. So we'll see what happens. This is what I dreaded, though. This is what I dreaded is that we're going to
Have you ever felt like a basketball team in Washington is like weird?
Mm-mm. I think
you ever felt that? Yeah, I never thought about Washington.
Sports team. I think Washington needs a sports team, to be honest with you. Like if there's any city that should have one, it should be like New York, Washington, LA, some cities.
They got all the teams. They got a football team, baseball team, and basketball. So.
Yeah. I'm saying, I think for that, since they're like the capital, hell yeah, they need a team.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot.
You want to move every team somewhere else.
Yeah, no. I say, another thing, Sacramento. I think they've officially been eliminated from playoff contention. So that's 16 straight years, I think.
Damn.
I saw that on Twitter.
Remember when we said we thought they had a chance to make the playoff?
Yeah, we did. We had to delete that video. Yeah. Damn. But as I said though, with Sacramento is even if they don't make, they're not going to. So they said they're not even gonna. It's not even a chance they make anymore, right? Mm-hmm. So even with that, I think they got a bright future still. I really do. I think
no, they don't.
I think you don't think the Sabonis Fox duo is dope?
No.
You tripping?
No.
I understand.
No, bro.
I understand why Blake. I understand why Blake think that because we have to look at the past Like they've had some nice talent, and they still don't do what we think they can do. But then the Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox thing does look better than stuff in the past.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to wait and see who's right.
They've got to build around those two. If they build the right thing around those, because like I said, they have assets to move. Harrison Barnes is basically on a tryout right now.
Yeah. That's a big if though, because we know they're not really great at building talent around. They're good at getting talent, but not building. They're terrible at that. So
we'll see what happens. Like I said, I like the pieces they've got. Barnes is a really good contract, and any contender would take Harrison Barnes. Good 3-and-D guy, very efficient over the course of his career. They're great pieces here that I think they can, kind of maneuver around and work around Sabonis and Fox. So it's rough because we did think they could make a run, but those hopes are dead. But I think their outlook over the next couple of years is going to be pretty decent if we're being honest. So yeah, we'll see what happens with them. Anything else y'all want to cover?
I don't want to cover anything. I just want to tell people before we end it, they have to go see Batman. That's like
go see that shit, man.
You got to put that on your list.
Yeah, dope movie.
Yeah, Riddler is terrifying.
Yeah,
I'm letting you know.
Yeah, Riddler is dope. I can't say too much because Blake still ain't seen it.
I gotta go. I'm gonna go see it this weekend.
We just telling you, Riddler is terrifying.
Riddler's off the chain in that movie. I didn't think he was gonna do it, but he was off the chain in that movie.
No more lies.
Don't listen to nobody. Don't listen to nobody who's saying the movie's bad. We know what crowd that is. They mad because about some other stuff.
They mad because they wasn't in it. That's all it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They hating on the movie. So
that movie borderline an all-time type of movie. To me.
That movie's dope as hell. Very dope movie. So go cop Batman. Don't do it illegally, but go do what you can do to watch it.
But don't do it illegally, but I'm gonna just tell you, do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do to go see it. You know what I'm saying? That does it for this episode. Guys, don't forget to like and sub to the channel. Don't forget to turn on post notifications. And do not forget to download our new episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we are gonna see you all on Thursday evening with our next episode.
Sirski.